I'm back! Sorry, that was so much creepier than I intended it to be. Anyway, guys, after a very long unintentional hiatus, I am back. Let's hope that I still remember how to do this. Oh, nope, that's not it. Alright, there we go. So instead of making my first comeback video about a book, which this whole channel was designed around, I'm actually going to make it about two of my favorite shows currently that combined episodes to make one awesome seismic event. I'm talking about, of course, Arrow and The Flash on CW. I absolutely love these shows so much. And right now, as I'm recording this, I just saw Flash vs. Arrow last night, and I want to share all my thoughts with you because I thought it was a really awesome episode, and it definitely changed the course of the show for Flash, and I think it opened the door for more opportunities if they wanted to maybe make more superhero shows, or if they wanted to incorporate Arrow and Flash together more. So I'm just really excited. I have a lot of thoughts. I want to share them with all of you, but first off, if you haven't seen Flash vs. Arrow, the newest episode of The Flash, I'm giving you a warning right now that you're probably not going to want to watch this because the episode was so fantastic. There were just so many oh my gosh moments that I was just crying, screaming, like what the heck, especially the ending. So I don't want to ruin it for you so you can experience all the feels and the emotion as you're watching it. So if you haven't watched it yet, just add this video to your watch later or whatever you want to do. Pause it, go watch the video and come back and watch it after and then tell me what you thought. So first off, in the showdown between Barry and Oliver, I have to admit I would go for Barry. I don't know why. I love Oliver, but Barry just has that quirky, dorky-ish appeal to him that I love so very, very much. So I was really excited for this whole episode. I could not wait for it. And we started off again with finding out that we had another metahuman who robbed a bank, and this metahuman was kind of like Medusa because he could control your emotions. If he looked into your eyes, he had like red eyes, and if you looked into them, he could make you angry or want to like murder someone or something like that, which is just like not a good thing. So Star Labs figured out pretty quickly that this person could control emotions, and Team Arrow happened to be in the vicinity because they were also chasing their latest villain who happened to go to Central City, or at least they think so. So they were there. Barry found them and was like, hey guys, come on, help me out with this villain I got, and Oliver was just like, no. So I think Barry, in a lot of ways, this was showing the conflict between Barry and Oliver because we already know that Barry is more of a hero where Oliver sees himself as a vigilante. Oliver is all about results. He's okay with torturing people or kind of not handling it in the best way to get the things that he wants, whereas Barry's all about saving the people. So I think we've seen that dynamic, but then at the same time we don't realize how inexperienced Barry is at this. I mean, Oliver said that himself. He's had 5 years on that island training to do what he does, and then he has had 3 more years in Starling City learning to kind of refine his skills and make them better, and Barry is just new at this, and he kind of thinks he can take on the world because he has superpowers, which is where I think Oliver has the upper hand because he's just a human, so he knows that you have to always be on guard. You have to be your best because there's always going to be someone who's better than you, who's smarter than you, who's faster than you, and I think Barry doesn't realize that yet, and I think that's one of Barry's main flaws is that he's very cocky and arrogant, and we know in Greek tragedies, if you ever read any of them, everyone's fatal flaw is pride, and I think that is also Barry's fatal flaw because I think getting these superpowers, they've become a part of him, which is good. Like, it's good that he should acknowledge them, but at the same time, he thinks now that he's better than most people, you know? Like, he could take anyone that comes at him or anything, which is what happened with Oliver. Barry was just like, oh, I'll handle this guy by myself. You don't have to call Oliver. Like, he wanted to kind of show him, hey, I'm on the same level as you. Stop acting like I need all this training, like I need all these lessons to learn because I've saved people. I've done great things. I am a hero. So he wanted to go and prove himself, and lo and behold, he got shot with the little eye red thingies and turned into a major douchebag, like just going crazy. At first they didn't know anything was wrong, but then he started getting a little not Barry, and I was very impressed with Grant Gustin's, whose name I love, that's such a cute name, his acting skills in this. I feel like he plays Barry as such a happy-go-lucky kid that it's adorable and cute and just kind of like you always smirk like to yourself watching it, but seeing him get angry, I wasn't sure if he could handle it because it's so different from what Barry usually is, but I feel like as he got angrier and angrier, it was perfect, and it led to that confrontation between Barry and Oliver where he was just like, you can train as much as you want, you could climb that salmon bar until your heart gives out, but you know the truth, you'll never be as fast as me. And I just loved him in that moment because much as this was caused by the anger that the metahuman placed into him, I think there's also a part of Barry that believes that in a way, that he needs to learn that just because he's fast doesn't mean he can outrun everything. And he was also correct a little though in saying that Oliver was jealous of him because I think in a way Oliver has become sort of this vigilante, sort of not comfortable, but he's embraced the image that he's had of being a villain, of shooting and killing people, and of people just not trusting him immediately. And I think that Barry, on the other hand, Central City, aside from Eddie, who, let's not even get into that, likes him. They respect him. He saves people. There's not really a bad thing to say about the Flash, and I think Oliver is jealous of that in a way because it gives the Flash more opportunities than Oliver will ever get. Big moment of the night, of course, was Flash versus Arrow in their fight when Oliver went after Barry because they needed to get him under control. He was beating the crap out of Eddie because he was jealous of Iris, and that was just like, I don't even get Eddie's whole function now because I used to like him, but now he's like all anti-Flash, and it doesn't even really make sense. Like, I see this all the time where the cops don't like the vigilante. They're like, who's this guy running around in spandex or whatever? But everyone else seems okay with the Flash. Like, I could get if he was like Arrow, where he was kind of hurting people or destroying the city or something, we'd be like, okay, maybe this guy needs to be stopped. But it's just like this one-man team called Eddie who is after the Flash for some reason. I liked when they were all back in Star Labs, Dig and Cisco and Caitlin trying to bet who would win in a epic fight between the Flash and Arrow, and they each had their little sides, and Felicity was just the one that was like, guys, are we seriously having this conversation? Like, one of them could kill the other ones. The fight did not disappoint. I have to give it to whoever stunt coordinated that. It was freaking awesome because you saw exactly what Oliver was talking about, how Barry sometimes relies too much on his speed, and it gives your opponent opportunities to do things that you're so focused on one thing you don't realize they're doing the other. Like when he did the exploding arrow, that was my favorite. He's like, you missed, and Oliver was like, no I didn't, and then it just like exploded and Barry's like, oh, what is this? And then he shot him with that serum that was supposed to knock him out or whatever, and I was like, that stuff is gonna burn through Barry's body before it even reacts, so you better shoot him with like 25 more just to be on the safe side. And lo and behold, Barry just pulled it out and was like, ow, that hurt. So then they started fighting more, and finally they got to the point where Oliver, I guess, won. I consider Oliver winning. I know they said it was a tie, but to me, Oliver won. Because he had Barry, he was like, you need to calm down, and had him in like that stranglehold. And then Dr. Wells and Joe came, flashed him with a light, and Barry was all like, I see the light now, I'm okay. And he was all better, and I was like, that was simplistically easy. And then for some reason, I don't know if like my DVR just didn't record it, but I never actually saw them catching the metahuman. I just saw them talking about catching him and then being like, hey, we caught him. I was like, that seemed like too simple. I wanted to see Barry and Oliver working together more. I wanted to see them fight and take this down and see how they work together greatly, because we saw them fight, but now I want to see them work together in a super awesome superhero team. And I have to say I like the most, I think, even than the Oliver and Barry team, was Felicity and Caitlin. That was literally the best thing ever. Like, I was sitting there like, girl power please right now, because they were helping each other out. They're like, oh, it's so great to have another woman around. But at the end, Felicity asked Caitlin to come and help her with some blood that they found to help solve the Canary's murder, and I just love how Caitlin like understood right away. She's like, of course I'll do that, and she gave her a hug, and it was just so cute. Like, what's the word for a girl bromance? Like a cis-mance? A girl-mance? I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, that is what I'm feeling with them. I think it's adorable. I want to see more of them. I could see a whole episode just around those two, and I would love it. Like, I feel like the episode got so much better towards the end. Like, it was good the whole way, but then like the end just jacked it up to the point where I was like, thank goodness the whole episode wasn't like this, because I couldn't handle it. First we had Dr. Wells like talk to Oliver about, I don't know if I still trust you, blah blah blah, but you're a good man, your father would be proud. And Oliver's just like, thanks buddy. And then he walked out and he goes to Felicity, he's like, there's something off about that guy. And I was like, thank you, thank you. Everyone who gets it, of course it's Oliver Queen who gets that there's something not right about Harrison Wells. But then the end scene was amazing, because we saw this man who looked like he was not having a good time. He had not had a haircut in 6+ months, and in the back of my mind I'm thinking, oh my gosh, is this Ronnie? Because everyone on the fandom seriously has been always saying like, I can't wait for Ronnie to come back, I can't wait for Ronnie to come back, and I was like, is this a confirmed thing that Ronnie's coming back? Like, I just never knew because I didn't read the comic books. Like, but damn, he came back, and he came back in a big way. I couldn't even tell if that was him at first, because so different, and I was just amazing, because I feel like Robbie and Mel, just in that one scene, not saying anything, just captured the difference in Ronnie from what we've seen in him in that one episode when he was a hero and sacrificed himself, to now people are like, yo dude, you need help or whatever, or I don't even know, were they trying to mug him? Ronnie's just like, and like blows up in a fiery storm, and I was like, oh, Ronnie's back, bitches. And I'm so excited. I never thought they'd introduce him this quickly. If they did, I'm really excited. The only thing that I'm nervous about is the implication this has on Barry and Caitlin's relationship, because I ship them so hard. I think they're adorable, but I just can't wait to see how this is played, how this affects the dynamic of the whole show and everything, and I think it's a real game changer. So, I digress before I go on a big old rant. Basically, Caitlin, Barry, Cisco, Wells, I love. Joe, you're fabulous, and you need to be biffles with Diggle, because I feel like you guys will just be like, these people are freaks. Like, what is going on? Like, that would be the best bromance ever. Wells, Diggle, and Joe. Could you imagine them going out for drinks together, like going to see movies? Oh my gosh, I have a new ship. Tell me what you thought of the episode down below in the comments. Tell me what your favorite part was, what your least favorite part was. Do you feel like it lived up to all the expectations? Because I definitely think it did. Thank you so much all for watching. I'm Miranda, and I will see you next time for part dos. Bye! I ran like Barry, just that was pitiful. I'm sorry, Barry. I'll just go shoot a bow and arrow at you, and then you'll run away before it can hit you. Alright, I'm out.